Irish Myths Introduction. The Romans, who in their time conquered almost all of Europe, never reached Ireland. But the Irish myths reveal an obsessive fear of invasion anyway. They tell of different tribes who arrived in Ireland from afar and immediately began fighting the locals. Sometimes the attackers won and kicked everyone off their land, and sometimes they made peace with the locals and became neighbors. Some of these invaders were unusual. Giants, one-legged men, dangerous warriors having magical objects or gifted with great power. Others presented themselves quite simply. Heroes who not only fought battles but also traveled across Ireland, married and had children. Irish myths and legends are the best remaining examples of Celtic mythology as we know it today. Irish culture and traditions did not actually interact outside until the 7th century AD, when Christianity grew in importance and Irish tales were finally written down. Map of the Irish world. Irish myths are closely related to the reality in which they were created, the people and the geography, and even the weather of Ireland. They give magical explanations for real events, such as the giant's tomb or the thick sea fog that protects the isle from invaders. Ahead is a land full of sorcery and supernatural beings, where you can easily get to Tir na Nog, that is, Land of Youth, and meet Sidi, or other supernatural beings. One group of invaders divided the country into 5 regions. These regions, like other places described in the legends, still exist in modern Ireland. Irish myths are part of a larger Celtic culture. The Celts came to Western Europe from Asian territories of present-day Italy, Germany, France, Spain, and the British Isles. Now let me tell you the full story about what has happened step by step on the Irish lands. Children of Cessair. It is said that the first invaders of Ireland were Cessair and her children. They lived there until the Great Flood, which drowned everyone except Cessair's husband. He turned into a salmon and managed to escape alive. The people of Partholon. After the flood, there was no invasion for 300 years. Then Partholon arrived with his people. The people cultivated the land, domesticated animals, built the first houses of stone, and established law. Everything went very good for them, except for the occasional battles with the Fomorians, who arrived at the same time, until suddenly everyone was knocked out by a nightmarish epidemic. Fomorians. Some describe Fomorians as one-armed and one-legged, others as people with goat heads, and others as giants. Some Fomorians, such as Elath, looked like ordinary people. The people came from under the sea, were fierce and difficult in direct contacts. Fomorians participated in the first battle on the territory of Ireland. The opponents were the Partholon people. The Fomorians lived in Ireland for many years, until they were defeated by the Tuatha De Danann. Nemedians. Sometime after the plague that wiped out the Partholon people, Nemed appeared with his 4 wives and his people. From the port sailed more than 40 ships, but after many years of sailing, only Nemed's ship reached Ireland. Like the people of Partholon, the Nemedians cultivated the land and built villages and forts. They constantly fought against the Fomorians. Sometimes they won, sometimes they lost. In one of the battles, Nemed was killed, and the Fomorians slaved his people. Eventually, the Nemedians managed to escape. They sailed away and dispersed all over the world. Firbolg tribe. After many generations in exile, a group of Nemedian survivors called the Firbolg have returned to Ireland. They spent years in a dry, dusty country, some claim it was Greece, and only then sailed a large fleet to Ireland. They divided the country into 5 regions and made the country law and brought peace back to the country. Tuatha De Danann. They were powerful gods, endowed with incredible power and possessing many magical items. They arrived in Ireland about 40 years after the Firbolgs, fought the tribe and won, yet suffered huge losses. The Firbolgs agreed to leave the island and Tuatha De Danann took control. Still, there was no peace, as the Fomorians became the new enemies. After many fierce battles, the god Lugh finally killed the Fomorian king, Valor, and the Fomorians were banished from Ireland forever. The Tuatha De Danann finally had the whole country to themselves, but not for long. Milesians. The Milesians are believed to be the ancestors of the modern Irish. They were offspring of a man called Milesians, that means soldier of Spain, and sailed from Spain to take over Ireland from Tuatha De Danann. They attempted this 3 times, as the Tuatha De Danann fought them off with all the magic tricks they knew. But in the end, the Miles Spain were victorious. The 2 tribes came to an agreement. The Tuatha De Danann will live in Tir na Nog, and the Milesians will rule Ireland alone, and so it has remained until today.